HOA called 911 when I camped at my own ranch lake. Didn't know they were trespassing all along. They thought one phone call would end everything. It didn't. The night was quiet, the lake perfectly still, my tent set calmly on the shoreline of land I legally owned. No music, no fire hazard, no disturbance, just me and my ranch. That's when headlights swept across the water, and a woman from the HOA marched toward me like she already had authority. She didn't ask who I was. She didn't ask why I was there. She announced I was violating HOA rules and needed to leave immediately. I stayed calm, I listened, I let her talk. Then she pulled out her phone and called 911, loud enough for me to hear, confidently telling the dispatcher that a trespasser was camping on HOA property. She smiled while doing it, convinced the police would do her dirty work for her. That smile didn't last long. When the officers arrived, she went first, claimed the lake belonged to the association, claimed residents paid dues, claimed I had no right to be there. I didn't interrupt. I didn't raise my voice. I waited until she finished, then handed the officers a folder I had brought for a reason. Inside were the deed, the survey, historical boundary records, and access documentation proving ownership of the lake, shoreline, and the road they used to patrol. Everything shifted. The officers reviewed the paperwork carefully. What the HOA believed they controlled wasn't theirs at all. The lake was part of my ranch. The shoreline was mine. The signs they posted were unauthorized. The warnings they issued had no legal standing. Even worse, their enforcement history showed years of controlling land they never owned. The officers explained it slowly and clearly, making sure it was documented. I wasn't being asked to leave, I wasn't warned, I wasn't cited. Instead, enforcement stopped immediately. The HOA representative was told to step back and stop asserting ownership she couldn't prove. Every confident claim she made only strengthened the report against her. That's when the tension spread. Neighbors stepped outside, people who had been fined, people who had been threatened, people told they weren't allowed near the lake watched the truth unfold. The HOA hadn't protected them, they had misled them, and now it was on record. I packed up at sunrise by choice, not force, not because I lost, but because the point had been made. Notices would follow. Lawyers would get involved. Boundaries would be corrected, and years of quiet overreach would finally face daylight. They tried to use 911 as a weapon. They didn't realize they were documenting their own trespass. Real power isn't loud. It's knowing what you own, knowing the law, and staying calm while others expose themselves.